You are in the cockpit of the train. On the dashboard, the counter shows 2045 and the temperature needle points to +2 degrees Celsius. There is a simple lever in front of you. In red letters, it reads, acceleration forward, and beneath it, in green, deceleration reverse. Suddenly, a green book falls from the back of your head. It was Kohei Saito's Slow Down, the Degrowth Manifesto. Ah, it reminds you of your grad school philosophy course. What was it about? Capitalism, global warming, go back to nature. Whatever, it doesn't matter, doesn't it? Outside the cockpit window, skyscrapers flashed through the violet haze. Neon lights were everywhere, glowing in the fog of a city that never slept. In the meantime, the CCTV-style rear monitor is full of shimmering green forest, the last trace of a place where humanity still exists. But you are of the prairie space. An endless land, lack of resources, extreme heat, and humidity, where humans can barely survive. Your train is the last space for human habitation.
Your train is running out of fuel. We used to use fossil fuels, however we do not have enough. Do you prefer solar and wind power as a new energy source, or continue using the existing fossil fuels until the train engine dies out?
Solar quota exceeded. Subscription needed.
Sign floats on the screen. What subscription? You may or may not know that, under the regulation, individuals cannot own solar, and the government is regulating the amount of solar power you use. Are you controlling the train, or is the train controlling you? Your train slows down, and it seems like you have your own free time. However, you could only hear numerous complaints from your passengers on the train.
Why does your train slow down? I must reach there, right now.
Why are you getting paid? I can be better than you.
Passengers, including you, do not know where they are going, why they are staying in the cabin, or why they are rushing through. Even the destination is not clearly visible. As you know, your train is still running. It will not be stopped entirely at the midpoint. You know what? There are more than thousands of passengers on your train. They are almost the only survivors from the Earth. But your train is almost like a small society in the city. So here's a question. Will you remain, or even add more crew? Or will you restructure the existing crew, or lay them off? Everyone seems happy with remaining their own job, and no one should be retired and lost the meaning of life. But, unless the capitalism is eliminated, there is still a social hierarchy that estranges the worker from their species of being. Nonetheless, more people works, more people produces new products, more waste. Without the sense of species being, people become more and more lethargic, and continue accelerating. Some workers are forced to be retired, but some other workers voluntarily choose to retire. Only essential workers, including caregivers, are left for nurturing, educating, and civilizing the remaining people. It seems slowing down the production, as it produces less carbon emissions, and seems like giving people more opportunity to find what is genuinely valuable to work. However, all retired workers, either forced or voluntarily got off the train, have to face the unbearable weather outside of the train. They cannot even imagine what is valuable for them, as they are now in the crisis of the very species being. we eventually need to reduce the number of cabins to reduce the usage of resources. Currently, as other ordinary train does, we use the class system between cargoes. The first class cargo is most convenient, luxurious space, but only a few passengers can access to it. Second class is the middle, and what about the third class cargo looks like? It is similar, or even worse than the messy subway train. Okay, you prevented some complaints from the passengers on the first class cabin. They won't take a loss from massive passengers taking their place without paying any additional charges. But remember, while the second and third class cabin still appears as shared space, without certain standards of what is commodified and what is not commodified, it is a huge mess. Capitalism still exists, and you are spending more cabin. Nothing has been changed, but you are accelerating. Yes, you initiated Saito's degrowth communism in effect, by making all cabins a communal space and reducing the unused cabins. People seem emotionally stable, started to share all the spaces with kindness. But do you think your train can be remain stable later on?
Why everyone should share the space? I cannot live with this people.
$1,800 per 5 square feet.
You will also see some people monetizing the small space, where it is supposed to be communal space, which creates another capitalism.